Hi, everybody. I'm going to be making a difficult video that I should have made last year, and I couldn't bring myself to make for reasons I'll get into. A lot of people who follow me online know that I had a cat named Fatty. I had him for the longest time. He was one of the best friends I've ever had. He was my baby. I don't remember exactly when we got him. It was so long ago, and I miss him so much. And he died last year, or rather, he died in 2021. It was really hard, and he was one of the greatest cats you could ever ask for. He really was. He was really a lot like a dog in a lot of ways. He would follow you around, he would jump on your lap, he would sleep on you. He liked having his tummy rubbed and all that fun dog stuff. He was really active and really sociable and loving. And that's the thing I miss about him the most is that he was so loving. He was such a comforting presence to have around. And this isn't my first time dealing with loss. On my channel, I have video dedications to my cats, Girly and Kitty. And the thing about those two is that I made those videos the day they died. The thing about me is that one of my how do you say it? One of the ways I deal with anxiety and stress and just having a bad day is reaching out to people and hearing from people. And I don't want to feel alone when I'm feeling anxious or depressed or anything like that. So I reach out to people. Those of you who talk to me behind the scenes know that I probably bother people to high heaven. But yeah, I reach out to people and I just don't want to feel alone. I want to have a voice, literally and figuratively. So I made those videos in tribute to them, in part because I wanted to hear from people and I wanted to hear people talk, nice about them. For some reason, when Fatty died, it just hit me different. And that's not to say that I loved him more than I loved Girly or Kitty, or that he was a better cat than either of them. I love them all equally, but something about Fatty's passing really, I don't know. I really don't know how to phrase it. It just hit me different. I think a part of it is that when Kitty passed, he was very old, very old. When Girly passed, he had been sick for a while. But with Fatty, it was practically, in an instant when it happened. Some of you might remember that I did a stream in 2021, and I said that I was streaming because I was having a bad day, but I never really said what my bad day was about or why I was having a bad day. I was streaming because Fatty wasn't home. He was at the vet. My mom had taken him to the vet. I ended that stream because she had come home with Fatty. So I did that stream talking about having a bad day and how I was feeling better because I had streamed, which was true. That was true. And I ended the stream right when they got home, and I go in the living room, and she tells me, Fatty is ill, and we have to make a decision that we need to put him to sleep. And that just it was really, it was insane. I had never dealt with that kind of decision before, and it really shook me up. And here's something, a testament to how loving a cat Fatty was. That night he came home, he was sick. He wasn't feeling well. He was expiring. I sat down in the living room. I was crying. And what does Fatty do? He walks up to me as I'm sitting down and hops in my lap and just falls asleep. And that tells you everything you need to know about Fatty, really. That he was in such a bad such a bad place physically, but he was still so loving that he wanted to be with people. He wanted to be with me. He wanted to be comforted. I stress that because cats have this horrible reputation of being grumpy and lazy, and they shut themselves away from everybody. But that absolutely was not the case with Fatty. He was such a sweetheart. It hadn't even been a full week when he passed. He passed in my living room. It was hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was hard, but it was comforting because the whole family was there with him. It was like an instant. He came home one day. It just didn't feel. It wasn't fair. We had him for so long, and then he comes home from the vet one day, and then boom, he's sick, and you got to put him to sleep, and then 3, 4 days later, he dies. It was such a rapid, downhill decline, and it hit me hard. I think a big part of why I've delayed this video for so long is because I've just been admittedly kind of in denial. Not necessarily in denial that he's gone. I realize that he's gone. I don't want to accept that. It's like I accept that, but I don't want to. And it's still hard. I still dream about him. I still see him in my dreams, and I still think about him every now and again. I've since moved when from the apartment. I'm in a house now, and it doesn't. It never. There's never a day where I just think like, man, it's not fair that I'm enjoying a new life in a new house and Fatty isn't here with me. I've got a big room now and all this space, a backyard, and all this space for a cat, and he's not here to enjoy any of it. He's not here to sleep in my new bed, and that hurts. I mean, it goes without saying, but you know what I mean. Like it's just not fair. And the reason why I'm making this video today is because I don't know if I've ever really shown him very much on YouTube, but if you go to my Instagram, I talk about him a lot. A few years ago, I got a new kitten named Loki, and today, January 6th, is his second birthday. He's turning 2 years old, and I can't believe it. I figured this would be a good time to remember Fatty, remember the past, but also embrace the future. And I love Loki to pieces. He is the cutest little thing you've ever seen, and he's my baby. I mean, all of my cats are my babies, but Loki is like literally my baby. Like I can't believe it. It blows my mind. Didn't exactly get along with Fatty the best, or rather, Fatty didn't get along with him very well. But he really was a fat boy. By the way, that was my nickname for him, Fat Boy. He wasn't just a fat cat. He was a big cat. Every time somebody saw him, whether it was relatives or friends or coworkers or just maintenance men coming to work on something, the first thing they mentioned was how big he was. The AC repairman called him Big Boy. I remember a coworker saw him once and "That's a big cat." You know. Ah, God, I miss him so much. There's never going to be another cat like Fatty. I didn't have pets growing up. When I was a kid, we didn't have pets. It wasn't until I was much older that we got Kitty, and then we got Girly, and then we got Fatty, and then we got Loki. And as the years went on, I really came to realize that how important animals are, how important pets are. I think about some of my darkest days, and I can't even begin to wrap my mind around how much worse I would be on my darkest days if I didn't have um, one of my cats with me. And I mean that sincerely. So, if you're going to take anything away from this video, take care of your pets, please. They are so important. So, rest in peace, Fatty. Fat boy. I miss calling him that. Wherever you are now, I hope you're with Girly and Kitty again and you're all cuddling like you used to. And I hope I do enough good with my life to where someday I can see you all again. So, Take care, everybody. And of course, happy birthday, Loki. Happy second birthday to my cat, Loki. All right. Happy Friday, and take care.